Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Esteemed FaceTime with Leaders, an initiative by World Development Corporation. I am Ajuna Sharawat, anchor at World Development Corporation. FaceTime with Leaders is a platform for industry titans to share their experiences, thoughts, ideas, and best practices in order to inspire one another and future leaders. In a nutshell, we attempt to encapsulate the multi-decadal learnings acquired by these industry leaders. We also hope that by conducting these esteemed interviews, we can bring together a global community of eminent personalities. Great learnings from great leaders undoubtedly assist everyone by identifying, nurturing, and using the trade secrets that are proven success formulae for many. And this is what we hope these sessions are, a gathering of industry stalwarts and a knowledge-sharing community. We have one such industry stalwart on FaceTime with Leaders with us today, Amit Kapoor. A pioneer in the field, he has been accredited as the India's first articulation manager and a global top 200 content strategist. Amit currently a senior director, content and social media marketing head at Cigniti Technologies, Hyderabad, handles responsibilities like repositioning and establishing the brand on digital platforms, increasing the brand's digital footfall, generating leads from social media, and a lot more. A master in English with a flair for writing, Amit has worked for the field of content management, technical writing, and digital marketing. As an adept project manager, Amit leads teams, keeping up his commitment to deadlines. As a great orator, Amit has been honored as a speaker at multiple events and institutes. Amit has proven his skills with scalable end results, namely increased revenue. Welcome, Amit, to FaceTime with Leaders.
Thanks a lot, Ajuna, for the wonderful opportunity. Great to be here.
Our pleasure and honor to host you here. So, Amit, you completed your bachelor's in commerce, but pursued your master's in English and entered communications field. What made you change your trajectory rather early in your career journey, but late in your educational journey?
Does the phrase "kahani mein twist" interest you? I kind of like that.
Yes.
So we are talking about 3 decades old story. So when I was completing my graduation, my class 12, doing my graduation, and along with that, we used to do AppTech, 2 years of AppTech courses. I did that. And then eventually the plan was to kind of, to go to the US to continue my master's and all that in computers and all, whatever happens. But that said, for that to happen, the US curriculum required the 4th year of education after the graduation thing. So I had completed 3. So I had no other option but to, try to do one more year. And when I looked at, the course curriculum and all other things, I realized that definitely I could not get into MSc. And so master's in English was something that was very tempting. So the reason being, I come from a family where we have a lot of teachers. Okay, my mother herself used to teach me English as a student in my school. My grandfather used to teach English to Britishers. So yeah, there's some legacy there. So there's something in the blood. So I always had that passion towards English. I said, okay, let me give it a shot. And I think in that year, I guess I was one of the students who moved from, the BCom field to the MA English field in Lucknow University. So I guess, so that's where the destiny played its part. So 2 years of AppTech, 6 months of graphic designing, 2 years of MA English. I think that's what prepared me eventually for a career that now has been spanning for the last 23 years in the field of communications, content, social media, in the field of IT. So I guess it played out well.
Absolutely. You made the right choices at the right time.
I guess the choices picked me.
The future like this is the in profession, in thing.
Yep.
And so it was beautifully designed for you.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yes. Yeah. And you have also worked across different niches of the IT and educational industries. Was it challenging to move between them?
So the interesting thing is that challenging may be a bit harsh, rough word to use. But yes, the first question that I was asked when I was being interviewed at one of my first companies at Hyderabad, an IT company, and then also across multiple other companies also asked me that similar kind of a question. That, like what you asked, like, you don't have an MTech or an MSc. So how will you, talk about something technical that we are doing? You don't have a technical background per se, not an engineering background, not in science. So my answer to that has always been that, my purpose is to be able to explain in simple words what you otherwise are doing in a very complicated manner. So the products that you're making, they are fantastic products, great products, but you need somebody to explain how to use those products and services to the common man who is actually eventually your user, your reader and all. So I guess most of them bought that explanation, and that's why I've survived. And then there have been many people who ask, like, what exactly is technical writing? So to make it very simple for them, I always told them that, see, whenever you buy a new fridge or a TV or anything, you get a small booklet. That booklet is kind of prepared by some technical writer in some corner of the world. So I guess that's the story. And yeah,
Wow.
additionally, so I'll add on to that. So that is like the entrance to the IT companies. But naturally, when you start working for the organizations, right? So I have worked for companies who are in Wi-Fi, who are been in J2E based servers, companies who have been into digital transformation, software testing, like the current company that I have been like for the last almost 8 years. What happens is when I have entered in any of these organizations, like my knowledge of their products and services might be very low, but due to my, I guess, openness to learning about the products and services, so that I can research and then talk about them and then write about them, that I guess always has helped me out, and have done a decent enough job, I would say.
For you, make the most difficult things like you help in understanding the most difficult things.
I guess so, yeah.
And you make it easy for the layman.
Right.
That's you as an interface, or like, what do we call, as someone who does that?
The bridge.
The bridge, yeah.
Bridge.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Right.
Hmm.
So that's really a big contribution to, which will lead to the more higher contributions that you would do in the corporate governance field.
Yeah.
So apart from being, we would love to know, apart from being a content and social media person, what more do you focus on?
You mean as in like the additional things that I try to do when I can?
Yeah. I'm sure like you have such varied content writing experience and exposure that you would hardly have time to focus on other things. But I'm sure with your interests, like you have talked about, I'm sure there must be something else also you must be focusing on, and also looking for a purpose in your life where you would be focusing on for higher goals. So we would love to know about that.
Purpose is a very interesting word. Okay, let me talk about it. So naturally, technical and content writing came at a much later stage in life. As I was mentioning about my legacy, so I think I started writing poems when I was in class 8th, class 10th kind of thing. I continued to write them for quite a few years. And then I kind of started working. So once I started working, that kind of dropped the writing of poems on a regular frequency. But by that time, I had already written, I think somewhere around 250, 300 poems. So I always wanted to publish it someday. So I first started doing something online. Then I got one collection published by self. I mean, I went ahead and did it by self on Amazon. The collection's name is The Waves Flowed On. There are
Wow, beautiful.
multiple.
The waves slow down.
The waves flowed on.
Flowed on. Okay.
Yeah. So,
wow. I would love if you could elaborate on this as well.
Sure. I mean, so this is basically a collection of poems that I wrote in my early days, but yeah, I published it much later, like a decade or so later. There are still almost around 200 poems lying to be, waiting to be get published. But now what happened is, the interesting thing that you said was, we all get so busy with our, regular work life and then our regular lives. We always end up saying, "Arey, I want to do this, but I don't have time. I want to do this, but I don't have time." I was in that same whirlpool, going on and on, saying, "Arey, I want to read a lot more, but I'm not getting time." Eventually, what happened is, like, when you start to listening to podcasts and all those videos, you come across thoughts like, "Boss, even Einstein had 24 hours a day. What are you talking about?" What he gave to the world and what you are giving currently is like, nothing right now. So think. So I slowly moved to, how to do more in that same amount of time more. So for that to happen, things like the Pomodoro technique, like, do small things, but daily, like 30 minutes, you write something that you want. So I'm like, right now I'm writing a novel also, a book also. So I'm just spending like, say, 30 minutes a day, but now like I'm standing at somewhere around 15,000 words in that book.
Wow.
So I hope to get it published, whenever, I feel like it is there. So then additionally, I got connected to a lot more people, like-minded people who are like trying to give back to the society, right? So I have got connected with a group led by a dear friend of mine. Now I've been like with him for almost 4.5 years, into called Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao initiative. So that initiative is talking about entrepreneurship, education, employment, abilities, and all that, from the school base itself to the startups who are trying to learn more and do more. So while I am aligning to this whole initiative from a content communication and social media perspective itself, I will bring the same expertise to on the board to that initiative. But additionally, because he knew that I write poems, and also he asked me to write some songs. So I have written like 2-3 songs also for that initiative. One song is already being played. It's there on the YouTube. If you search for Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao, maybe you'll hear that song also.
Sone Ki Chidiya Ko Jagao.
Yes, that's that's our passion.
Anthem.
Yes, so it's like Jagana hai India ko, we need to bring it back to the same level that it was. So that's a passion. So yeah, we have to push beyond those 9 hours of work. Whatever time you get, you have to do more. The only thing, the last 1 year, I think this last 1.5 years has changed, the thought process. The one keyword is to take massive action. And that is what I have been trying to do for the last 1 year. And believe me, it works. The moment you start working, and it is not just about all these things, it is also about your health. So, I started, maybe doing daily walks, daily exercises. So that has also starting showing a positive impact on my health also. So yeah, it's all about how much we push ourselves to do more. Saying that time nahi hai is a very easy thing, and sitting on your recliner, having your popcorn, watching OTT. Do something else.
Very motivating and inspiring. And thank you for sharing this with us.
Thank you.
Take more action, and it definitely will take you somewhere else.
It will.
Right. Like we have now come to somewhere else with AI, ML, Web 3.0. And now I would like you to comment on this also. How do you foresee the field of written communication with the integration of AI, ML, and so on?
So the last few days, like, I would say ChatGPT has like kind of picked up its head in the last 2 months majorly, if not more. I mean, it was always there lurking around in the corners. And of course, AI and IoT have always been there, machine learning and NLP and all those things. But I know like a lot of friends and peers in the industry who are in the field of communication or writing and even marketing per se. They are now very confused and worried about the fact that ChatGPT might take away their job because it is churning out content so quickly and so effectively. There are multiple things, multiple reasons why our jobs are still safe. One of the biggest reasons is, like, I have tried out ChatGPT myself and I am a fan of it. The kind of work it is doing, like you give it a question, it will throw out a good answer. But one is that it is still kind of an aggregator. It kind of searches and researches using its algorithms and then throws out the answer for us. But there are also tools now available, tools that can detect that the content has been created using ChatGPT. So if somebody thinks that the person is very intelligent and says that, hey, I have written a fantastic blog using on AI and all that, you can detect ChatGPT and find out that almost 100% of the content was thrown out by a ChatGPT platform. So why will you use that content? You still want to use content that is not plagiarized, that is still related to the nature of the person, the persona of the person who's bringing in a particular idea. The person who still can connect with empathy, the person who can connect with the needs of the audience. ChatGPT is a robot. It can't connect with humans the way we are connecting as of now. So I don't think that it will happen. Yeah, Sophia is there sitting in Dubai somewhere, doing some robotic things, being the first humanoid robot. It is a fantastic development, and it will definitely, I see these things helping in the healthcare and all those areas. I mean, they are much needed innovations. But as long as we have our brains and we continue to use them, I don't think a ChatGPT will impact us. The day we feel like, oh, I don't feel like writing a blog, ChatGPT, please write this blog for me. One day, okay, maybe, and then you tweak it and change it. But if you get habituated to it, you're again going on that recliner with your popcorn. You will end up messing it up. Use ChatGPT for the ideas it throws up. Get the idea from there, use it to create your content. Yes, the ideas, it is really helping us think much faster, because we might have thought like 4 items out of those 10 that it gave in 5 minutes. So use those ideas and then create the content. That's what will save us.
This is an absolutely very useful piece of advice from you. And yes, here again, you have said, what you're saying is that as long as we keep taking actions, nobody can take our place.
Yes, totally.
Same thing. Amazing. Yes. So now I would like to ask you, how do you see social media and content media supporting ESG in the corporate world?
I think, that is the next big thing in parallel to ChatGPT, I guess, as of now, that everybody is talking about. So we all are talking about, even I think, if I'm not really wrong, Modi ji is also talking about making India carbon free by 2050, kind of a vision that we have. That is a fantastic vision to have. And any organization, what happens is we travel around the globe, right? We use the planes and all those things that leads to carbon emissions. Now, the travel is still a necessity, but to compensate for that, the companies are going on and planting saplings, doing their bit for the nature. So kind of doing the parallel thing. Coming to content and social media, which actually was the question. What will happen is, let us say a company is doing its bit for making the world a greener place. The company is doing its bit for not sending out so many emails to reducing carbon. But we don't talk about it in the social media. We don't write small, see, we can write, huge blogs around, being eco-friendly, supporting environment, supporting, the whole ESG thing. But if we do not promote it on the social media, that company will not, be known for its effect and impact on that same area. Additionally, what will happen is, when companies do something for the environment, they are respected more. When a company is respected more, the stakeholders' trust increases. When the stakeholders' trust increases, the stocks improve, the business improves, the revenues improve, everybody is happy. So now content and social media definitely play a part, because they let the outside world know what this company is doing, apart from creating the products and services. So eventually what will happen is, everybody will start seeing on the social media that, okay, this company is planting saplings, this guy is, reducing air travel, maybe, focusing more on, online screen time and all that. So when they see all that, definitely, the company's positioning in the market will become stronger. With that happening, whether it is a startup company or whether it is a big organization, all of them will, face, good reputation. So yeah, I think that should be, a good thing to do. Again, taking action.
Yeah, again, taking action in keeping people informed.
Yep.
And yeah, and also, like, this way, the companies would be more accountable, holding themselves accountable for, if they said this, did they do this? Because now people will ask, if you said this, did you do it? And what happened?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Amazing. Wow, it has been so wonderful, this session with you.
Thank you.
And as you are aware that we are building the FaceTime with Leaders community for cross-pollination of knowledge and a community of independent directors for having a better corporate governance in the country. Now, we would like to know, what are your thoughts about these initiatives taken by Mr. Zishan Pathan, Mr. Heval Mehta, and the whole World Development Corporation team?
Yeah, I mean, like the last few months that I have spent with the fantastic team, I think it is a very interesting initiative, a very good initiative, because it is serving multiple purposes. One is that it is allowing people, like, if I can say, like myself, to think beyond your, the regular work that you're doing. Think for, what value you can add to, say, the board of an organization, right? So unless we are, aware of the rules and laws and the bylaws, that, we need to be aware of. And, unless somebody talks to us about them, unless somebody teaches. So the multiple sessions and, that we have attended as part of, this whole learning journey, that has definitely opened up, kind of a thinking window that, okay, if something like this happens, for a company to, continue in the market and not face some negativity and, things like some big organizations have faced because of not taking the right actions and, or taking the wrong decisions in the board meetings. So that has been definitely an eye opener. So I am really thankful that a lot of learning has happened, and I have definitely evolved in my knowledge perspective. So a huge round of thank you to the whole team, and looking forward to stay connected and keep learning more.
Very happy to learn this from you, and thank you for your very motivating feedback. And that was a very enriching, valuable, beautiful conversation with you. And I'm confident that your insights will inspire the future leaders. Thank you, Amit, for joining us today. Wish you the very best for your future endeavors. Moreover, trust that this initiative by Directors Institute unquestionably expanded the participants' understanding and enriched their minds. Thank you.